Hello, everyone. This is Toni Weel and Sara, my beautiful co-host from Ohio, probably in the cold. It's sunny here in Florida, and it's nice and warm. It's not cold, no sweater time, so I'm good. Today, we wanted to talk about, well, how do you really start with your health journey? And many people come to the Facebook group that is called Fans of Dr. Robert Morse and ND. It is a group that has been around for about 7, 8 years already. It has 41,700 something members, of which actually 20,000 members regularly log in. I don't know where the other ones went, but I mean, hey, it's still about half of it. And we get a lot of questions and we get a lot of answers from people, the wrong answers oftentimes. So I was like, we have to see what we can do to guide people through this group and make sure that they are uh, getting all the information that is important. Sara and I were just talking about, what happens if somebody has a rash and asks and places a photo and in a post and then ask, I have a rash, what do I need to do? Well, what came up to actually the both of us is like and I have an example of a friend who is an RN, and he said people go to the doctor and they get a prescription, they take the pill, and the next day they expect their problem to be solved. And that is actually the mindset that we seem to have. It's like, okay, I have this now. What is the solution? Not realizing that that solution, and that is including that pill from the doctor, is only suppressing symptoms. And that is not what we are about. That is not what we heal. People, you got all these symptoms that you have, and forget about all the diseases that have been named, because a cut in your finger can be called a disease. And of course, they have 10 different prescriptions for that. Your body doesn't work like that. I mean, it's like you have an acidic body that you have accumulated over all the years that you have been alive, and probably before, when it came from your parents, your genetics. There's a lot going on, and sometimes, we have babies that are born with. I was born in way back with all kinds of health issues. So it's not only the food that you're eating now that causing the problems. But anyway, do not have a healthy body, and please do not expect it is healed in a day, a week, a month, a year even. It is a slow progress, a slow journey actually, but there is always progress, and it is actually up to you. But the expectations are too high. We see too many times doing a out of the blue and a 1 month fruit fast. It's not a fast because you are actually eating. But anyway, it would be good if you would, if you had slowly gone into that. But it is detox here and detox there, and people do not get the results they are expecting, and they turn away from it, and then they think that a carnivore diet is better, and it is just one thing after another, and we keep doing our best to guide people through what you really need to do. So if somebody asks, I have an example, and I hope that the poster who posted this is not getting upset with me, but I think this is one example, and it's a recent one that needs to be mentioned. Is like, I have restless leg syndrome. What do I do? So my first question is always, what exactly is your diet right now? Once I know what the diet is, I can pinpoint to, well, try leaving this and this and this out, add that, and see how it goes. Dehydration, drinking water is often an issue, but that aside, most of the comments, because that is what everyone seems to know, is take magnesium. Okay, now you take magnesium, and say after you took magnesium for 2 months, you stop. What is happening? Hey, your restless leg syndrome is coming back. Does that mean that you healed anything in your body? No, absolutely not. You didn't heal it, you suppressed it. So what could you do instead of taking the magnesium? Well, for one, you could look at what is magnesium-rich foods. And that is actually the kind of magnesium that your body can do something with. It's easy to go in all the inorganic minerals that you want to add, and it's not being utilized by the body the way it should. Now, I hope I'm still making sense. Otherwise, Sarah, please jump in and
No, you
because
I'm
because
following
you
along
know
just fine.
yeah, guys, we don't script anything. I don't have
Mm-mm.
a sheet with notes in front of me, which sometimes I think I should. Because when I was thinking about doing this podcast and talking about this, I knew exactly what I was going to say. That's usually my my meditation. But it
Yeah.
is funny how it always goes. And I was like, well, let's do what is it, a tour through the group and what is all available. But I cut you off, so I'll let you talk.
No, I was just saying that I'm following along just fine with what you're saying, and we just go with the flow. I mean, a lot of times we don't even know what we're talking about until the day of the show. So we just go with it, and if anybody has any questions along the way, we try to make sure we answer them.
Yeah, it is what Sherry says. The programming goes deep where we get a symptom and think something is wrong instead of trusting your body is always trying to heal us. Thank you for reminding us, Sherry, because that is exactly what it is. That is what the body does. We are designed to be perfect. And everything works out until we keep putting stuff in our body high. I mean, stress is very high. People don't rest. They don't give themselves any time to do, to enjoy life, to say it, simple. And in the meantime, it's like a drink here or there, maybe not the right one. It is like, oh, grab some food, and it shouldn't be that bad. It's only once, and then forgetting that the next day it's the same thing, and we're just not healing, and that is what we want, but we don't give ourselves the time to actually heal. It is, yeah, I think I already said it, the way we live, it is not that easy. And before we started opening this up, Sarah mentioned that for some people, it is hard to do. When I just repeat what Dr. Morse says when you come to him with a problem, and he said, yeah, fruit, berries, melons. That's it, fruit, berries, melons. So it is very simple and it is so hard to do. So how do you do that when you have young children or you have a spouse who is an absolute meat eater? And we all, well, I didn't, but most of us dealt with that. And isn't there a way to slowly go into that? But first we have to understand the whys in and the hows that we absolutely cannot heal our body in a few months, let alone in a few years. It's a process. I know of a client of mine who had MS severely, was in a wheelchair, was a dancer before. Her only goal was to dance again. When she learned about Dr. Morse and she came to me and she started, and I only heard a few times of her, but she started on fruit right away, and that was it. A year long, it was nothing else but fruit. Then we connected again, and she was dancing again. And she was doing dance competitions and teaching dance. She came out of that wheelchair. Now, not everybody can say, okay, from tomorrow on, it is all fruit for a whole year, and then we see where it goes, because that is not feasible either. It wasn't feasible for me. My transition was like a year. It went from well, I've been a basic healthy eater, but yes, I ate beans and I ate cooked rice and cooked food, and then it was to all raw foods, vegan for many years, but then to all raw food, and it wasn't doing what I expected, so I had to leave something out. Thanks to Dr. Morse, who pointed that out, and then you go from there. But it was a long process. So we cannot at any time expect to do a detox and then we're good to go and can go back to the foods that got us where we were before. And we keep saying that. I mean, we keep repeating that, but sometimes I feel I'm missing something to get people to understand, to know which route they need to go, to learn to trust their body, to accept it is a journey and to enjoy it. If you hate what you're doing, you're going on a detox and you hate what you're doing, you might as well stop, because it's not going to work for you.
And I hear all the time too, how long do I have to do this until I can go back? And it's like, so what you're saying is you want to heal yourself, but then you want to start making yourself sick again. And it's, most people who make the journey don't actually go back. They may, go back to vegan, eating your veggies and stuff, or maybe even start consuming breads and stuff again. But as soon as you do, you're just going to start feeling sick again. And it comes back even quicker. I think the second time around, you're starting to feel pretty poorly. Because it took many,
I,
many, many years for you to get to where you are right now.
yeah, but I think that it is our job to make people understand how their body works,
Mm-hmm.
how it is designed. And I talk to people who say they know about Dr. Morse, have been in the group for years, and then we are talking about things and how the body works, and then it's like, oh, I wasn't aware of that.
I
And
mean, I have aha moments here still too, where I'm like, what I did, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so, I mean, definitely don't feel bad for not knowing everything, like for people listening and stuff. I mean, we're still learning and we learn from all of you too and talking to each other.
oh, now I see Katie has something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of healing, on Saturday night I asked about my hair. It feels really oily and greasy. Now I'm wondering about my face. I feel like I could scrap gunk off of it. Is this normal? Do you have suggestions on what I can do for it? I don't wear any makeup or products on my face because I'm trying to detox as fast as possible. It is these last 5 words that make all the difference. You can't
Mm-hmm.
you can't detox as fast as possible. Your body decides what it is going to do. If you know that you are giving your body the correct fuel and you know what it is, then your body will do what it needs to do. When I started, of course, I wanted to get rid of the arthritis ASAP. Well, it didn't work like that. I got rid of all kinds of other things, but definitely not the arthritis. So I realized, and I knew that when I started it, it is just the rest of your life, you heal, and sometimes you go back and you eat what you shouldn't eat, and your body shows you like you shouldn't have done that. We detox at whatever pace the body will detox. Stuff coming out, it means it needs to come out. If you would say, well, I have this going on for months at a time, first question is, are your kidneys filtering? If they are filtering, is your lymph moving? Is adequately enough? Are you doing exercises to get your lymph out? Because that is all signs of getting stuff out of your body that needs to come out. It's probably 12 years ago. I stopped using shampoo on my hair. And of course, the first weeks it was kind of greasy. It looked kind of odd. And after a few weeks, it started curling again. I had these well, what do you call that kind of wavy hair, not straight, and it became very shiny and very beautiful. But I had to go through weeks of greasy hair. And you'll see that whatever your body does, it is okay. There is nothing that you can add to it or leave out if your diet is not correct. If you say that you would eat high fruit, but then you eat nuts and other fats or even plant proteins that your body is not ready for, you could have a reaction. So that is why I always suggest to use I got a little distracted. I tried to talk and read what Katie was writing. That's not going to work. I better read Katie's comment first. I have one of those things you attach to your shower head that removes toxins from the water. I also have soft water, but only hooked up for the hot water.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that could be a thing. If
Well, I
you
asked her too, like what kind of water, how much water and what kind of water. My question was, it, how much water is she drinking and what kind? And then also, at what times of the day are you drinking the water? The other thing about what I do with my face is I like kind of like a more coarse kind of washcloth, and so I just like to get it wet, and then I just rub like my T-zone with it if I have any oil there for the day or whatnot, or if I feel like I have any kind of grime, I just wipe it off with one of the washcloths. So I do my teeth first, and then I do my face.
Yeah, it's drinking distilled water. I do
hmm
too.
And how
And
much and when?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
the when is important too. Darn.
Yeah, well, remember our conversation with
Yeah, I
Lauren
know.
Whiteman? We go into digestion from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. And so when we rise in the morning, that's when we're supposed to have three quart jars of distilled water. She wants us to get 3/4 of our gallon in per day before noon. And so that's why she's saying, drink it swift and get it down, and then finish your last quart of the day sometime around 3 p.m. So I was just
Yeah,
wondering if anybody has started doing that or trying. But definitely when you have your rising in the morning, try to flush out all those toxins that your body has been working on getting rid of all through the night.
it's I try to get in at least a liter early in the morning, as soon as I get up.
Is a
And
liter 16? I don't know. I can't.
a liter is the same as a quart, close to the
I'm
same.
American.
It's close to a quart. Well,
Okay.
nowadays, if you buy a bottle of water, it shows you in liters,
Yeah,
actually,
it
not
does.
in quarts.
It does.
It may show in ounces or it shows in liters, but not in quarts. But I do know it is about a quart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the thing, Katie. When we are detoxing and we absolutely need the water. And maybe when you're completely clean, that your body can handle only the H3O, is that what it's been called, instead of the H2O
Yeah.
from the water. But I see so many people who are on high fruit in lots of juices, who have constipation, who have cramps in their legs, and every time, and lower back problems. And every time it is when they drink a big glass of water, the problem is gone.
Yeah.
So to me,
I'm,
yeah, to me it is like we absolutely need the water. I don't care what everybody else says. I have proof we need it.
yeah, and as you all know, you've heard me many times. It's so hard for me to drink water. I'll be the first one to say, but it's so important. And after Lauren talked about it during our one podcast, I can fully see the importance of it. So, my recommendation would be to try to get your water in the morning, and then break your fast sometime around, I don't know what time you get up, but definitely around noon at the latest, with your orange juice or just eating oranges. And then about an hour or two after that, try to get in your other quart of water, and then finish your day off with maybe some more fruit, and then light leafy green salad, of course, with no oils or anything like that on it. And just kind of see how your body then adjusts with that. But to take the surface oil off and get rid of the grime, I would wipe it with a clean washcloth and just some fresh water. And don't forget the importance of the distilled water. The distilled water, you're using it to remove toxins from your body. At the same time, it can also hydrate, but you want to have water that is zero mineral, zero everything, so it has the room in the water to attach to all the toxins to remove it swiftly out your body.
It yeah, water is necessary, and we can
Mm-hmm.
go on if we need distilled or what is it, spring water. It's always divided. People say, "Oh, we need pure spring water because that is original." Well, it's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily. I mean, it came out of the sky at some point, and it got into
Mm-hmm.
the lakes and the rivers and whatever. And it was like somebody said, if we need that water from the springs, how do we get it out? We don't. Our hands are not cups, It's not that easy.
Mm-hmm.
But that is often
Exactly.
say like, oh, we don't need the water. Now, spring water is never been available for everyone. I mean, there are in Holland. I wouldn't. Yeah, there's enough canals and rivers, but no springs. But anyway,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, and say we didn't eat the cooked foods like we do now. The reason we need so much water now is because we have very much dehydrated ourselves. So, of course, we need tons of water, especially right now in this time, to help rehydrate us from all the cooked foods and processed foods and just the natural environment toxins we run into on a daily basis. So, even though we weren't God didn't create us to be able to carry water with us or anything like that. He did create us with the ability to be able to think and build things. But also, we weren't created in mind with us eating Cheetos and Fritos and steaks and burgers and, things like that, and then sitting on our butts all day either. So just because we're living
Yeah,
in this time,
to
we
me
do
it
need the
makes
water now to help.
yeah, to me it makes more sense to have the rainwater when it was still clean. No,
Yes.
nowadays it absolutely isn't
Yep.
because if it rains it puts like a layer. I even saw it on my windows after the rain last week. It's kind of a sticky layer on it. Well, you definitely do
Hmm.
not want to drink that. But you've
Mm-mm.
tried filtering it, right?
Yep. I haven't drank it, but I used it for my hair and stuff like that. But we've been getting a lot of rain lately, so I need to actually get a hold of some of that. But I mean, I don't know. There's some stuff with snow going on that's in question too. People using magnets on it. So I'm about to run some of my own little experiments and then decide from there.
Yeah, it would be interesting to put it through a distiller and see what is left behind.
That would
Just
be
because now my water, I have a whole house water filter, then it goes through another filter here in the kitchen, and then it goes into the distiller. So now I don't have any residue in the distiller left. Before I
oh,
had
that's
the
great.
whole, yeah, before I had the whole house filter, it actually did, but not anymore.
Cool. That's great.
So yeah, the thing is with the spring water, like Lauren said, it has inorganic minerals that the body cannot use, and you don't want it in your body. And distilled water doesn't have it, so Okay, I have the Finns group open. I don't know if you can see it and share a screen.
Yep, I can see it. And I see it
Okay.
on YouTube as well.
Okay, good. Because I am an admin, it has this section on the left side. And for people who do not know, I have been an admin there for more than 4 years now. And the reason that I contacted the person who was an admin then, it was actually John Stearns, and because the group was going downhill, nobody was doing anything. I saw so many medical resolutions there that I was like, oh my God, there's nothing about Dr. Morse anymore. So I asked I offered to help out, and it was accepted. And I could do what I found that was needed to do. So I spent, I think, well, almost a year, almost full time, a lot of hours every day to get all the junk out. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot left, and make it so people could not just post anything and everything that they wanted. Comments you can still do, but it has actually an option in these groups, and that is for anybody who runs a group. It's interesting to know if you're not that familiar with it. You can put words in there that will be captured, like I can put in meat or protein. So anytime there is a comment with any of those trigger words, then I read the post, because I cannot read any or comment. I cannot read all the comments. So I do have to trust that people who do see the comments and that they are not correct, that they would let me know, and I'll show you how you can do that. Let me see, where is a post with comments? Here are comments. If there is like a comment that somebody would not like, and I don't know why it's not loading right now, but anyway, I can show it here too. Okay, I thought so. Okay. Report post to group admins. And this is an important one because I don't see them all. So if anybody ever sees a post that it's like, no, this is not right, then you can report it. It doesn't mean that I will then delete that post. I will read it, see if it is bad, and then decide if it should go or should stay. Because sometimes we see a post that goes absolutely, totally against Dr. Morse and his teachings. But that comment that invites us to explain what is the right way to do things. So sometimes we leave a comment like that in. So just you understand why that is being done. Now there is let me see, let's find a I for some reason I have a slow upload or download, thanks to Xfinity, where I have the highest download possible. It is like, see, looking for helpful ideas for a friend with what doctors call chronic lymphatic leukemia. And here's the whole health history, all the things that have happened. But we don't know anything about the person. So all that we can do is respond with, and I did that, is he willing to change drastically? And we got an answer. So that is a good conversation. But oftentimes we get here is he broke a few things, poor guy, and it's like, what can we do? Well, doing nothing is the best resolution if you are on the right kind of diet. I don't like that word, and I haven't found another word I can use. If we are on all fruit, Dr. Morse even said he had a client or patient that who had broken something, and the doctors were amazed. He was on all fruit. The doctors were amazed that it healed in half the time of what they normally expected. So this is showing us how fast, how extremely fast the body can heal when we give it the right fuel. And with that, I am not saying that fruit heals. It doesn't. Your body heals, but we need to give it the right fuel. And in the meantime, I'm trying to read again. You know what, Sherry, with a limited budget, we still do what we can. We stay away from what is mostly acidic to our body, and if we need any herbs, the teas are always a good choice. The teas, and yes, you can use the glandulars. Not everyone wants to use the glandulars because they are come from an animal. And it's not that an animal is killed for that, but that animal is slaughtered because of the meat production. And this is a byproduct. So ethically, I do, yeah, I'm kind of double with this. I feel that we can eat it, but I haven't been taking them. And now I can't say I hate taking pills because I do. Any pills, doesn't matter what's in it. And that is actually stopping me, or it is something in my mind is like, no, I cannot put anything from an animal in my body. So it is up to any of us to make that choice. But if you have an intuitive feeling against it, then don't do it. I mean, you always need to listen to your intuition anyway. See, when I'm quiet, Sarah, you're supposed to say something.
I was getting ready to, but I want to make sure you finish. No, I agree with that as well too, because if you're taking something that you are not comfortable with taking, then that will stress you out on another level as well. But please definitely weigh the pros and cons, especially if you are battling something or you do have an issue. And definitely try to work with one of the practitioners, even if your finances are low. You know, I mean, we'd hate to see people really struggling out there and trying to get through something on their own, especially when, as you've already shared with us in the comments, what you're going through. I'm reading it too. Yes, use
Yeah.
a stomach and heal all kidney tea. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we just need to start with the basics and I mean, there's a lot of thought. Like we have been talking with Lauren Whiteman twice now, once on animal health and once on the water. Lauren is against herbs in general. They are toxic. I'm not there yet. No, I can't say that I drink tea a lot, but I'm not taking a lot of formulas, the herbal formulas. If that is kind of a resistance in my body, also, I don't know. But with the herbs, what I personally experience is that the right herbs always grow right around me. The herbs that I needed. The first time that I noticed that was when we purchased this was back in the Netherlands, and I'm talking about, oh my gosh, it's almost 40 years ago. 37 years ago. When we purchased the house there, it had one kind of flower, front, side, backyard. It seemed it was those flowers all around. And I've always been into herbs, learning about them, recognizing them. But that season, we bought the house in the wintertime. That season, it still had all these. No, it didn't, because when we looked at the house was in the summer and it had all these flowers and herbs and plants. And when for us the season came with the new growth, they were all gone. There was nothing, and it wasn't like an annual. It was the guy had kind of, didn't do anything into the yard anymore, and it was just growing there. But now another flower showed up, and I don't remember which one it was, but figuring out years and years later how that actually worked was the flowers I needed, or my husband and I needed. The funny thing is, my dog knew. I had found you could say, a half wild dog here in the United States, brought it over to the Netherlands. She knew exactly what herbs to take. So I'm not there yet with accepting that all herbs are toxic, because I do feel that everything on this earth has a purpose. It is not just growing there just for the heck of it or just for its beauty. It all has a purpose. Not necessarily the ones that we created, like many of the vegetables we're eating nowadays. But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, the wild growing herbs, yes, but we don't know enough about it. It is, I think it goes back to the late 1800s, 1900s, that it was, I forgot the name, decided that plants were toxic to us. And if you would take a lot of it, I can see that, but that is with everything. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's even with people who drink the celery juice, 16 to 30 ounces a day. I did it, and it made me
Mm-hmm.
sick, and it messed up my GI tract really bad. And I know of many people that happen the same. And then saying, "Oh, it is an herb, so it must be good." Yeah, in small doses. If
Mm-hmm.
we realize that in small doses something can be a medicine, although like what Lauren taught us is like medicine, the word stands for toxins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm kind of like yes and no. So I see the beauty of nature and how it all works for us, but I don't want to go into that too deeply right now
Right.
because I
Well,
love my
I was gonna say that I think it depends on where you are in your detox and your healing process and how much time you have on your side. If you have all the time on your side, then great. Maybe you do have time to try all this and detox yourself without help. But if you're somebody that's really truly battling something, the herbs can provide a speedy um, help to speed up the process of your body getting back on track. That's my opinion of it right now. It just really depends on where you are in your healing journey and what you're battling.
Very true. I see that we're already 40 minutes into the chat, so let's take that tour that we promised. The tours of the fans of Dr. Robert Morse ND group. It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful person. It is supposed that you are a complete newbie and you come into this group not knowing anything, and you scroll around and you see all these posts and you see the answers, and then yeah, I can see that you put in a symptom that you have and a problem and to give me an answer. But I would suggest when a newbie listens to this, and actually I would tell all the people, because sometimes I get people who haven't been in here like 4, 5, 6 years, still doing the same thing. What you first do, you go here, you go to featured. In featured are all Dr. Morse's videos, one after the other, because as soon as Michael puts them in now, I did it first, he is doing that now, I put them on pin this to featured. So every new post coming in with a video from Dr. Morse is under featured. That is where you go. And then you may think like, well, I don't have type 1 diabetes. I don't have, thyroid problems, but there is this and more. Dr. Morse will always talk about how to do things. And I think we owe it to ourselves, and we want to be healthy, right? That's why we came to this group. For some people, it's like the last resort because the doctors already told them, no, you can't heal. And others have been sent here and have no clue what to do, where to go. And I absolutely understand that. So you go to featured, and one video may speak more to you than any other. They now have a section where they put up the testimonials, which is absolutely good. So I had set up a group for that, but then we don't need that because they have it right here. And it can, there's talk about bacteria, about parasites, morning sickness. And there are so many topics, but it is always in between. It's unbelievable how much gnosis there is. The wisdom of this man is extraordinary, and the patience he has. He talks about the eyes, how we can actually easily, it's not even that hard to see what our main issues are. And yes, ours is in here too. But you will see here he talks diet, disease, and detoxification. I mean, this is a perfect video already to start with. So this is all here, and it's not that you have to watch a video every day, but my gosh, those videos are maybe an hour long, sometimes shorter, sometimes a little longer. But isn't that time that you can invest into your health, and it helps you understand how your body works? So, castor oil and more. We cannot put all the topics in because sometimes he talks about a topic 1 minute, sometimes 15 minutes. So just watch them. So that is all under featured. Now, if you are looking for specific topics, there are a lot of PDFs under files. And, simple things like how to make a tasty cup of herbal tea or even dental management. We have the one that we actually did a video about, salt is a drug, children and detoxification. And I mean, I put a lot there, but there have been others too. There is the protein scam. It's not just me who's posting there. There are a lot of other people have been posting. The grape cure. These are all printable PDFs, so you can, just put them aside and you have them. About kidney filtration. Here is the ingredient. Because I had another one. Let me see. And I'll show you how that actually opens up. Now, I usually am on Facebook when I'm on my phone. So on the phone, it looks a little different, but this is always there. So you can always find that. For some reason, it's not opening or it opens in another window. Yeah, see, it opened here. But let's see. Well, here you go. Health circulation upper body, that is now just blood circulation, so it's not there anymore. And there, if you want to do this on your own, you're a newbie, you want to do this on your own, you find this information. And I would always ask in the group and say that you are a newbie and you would like to use a certain formula for a certain issue or just healing the body. Now, circulation or blood circulation, if you have a tumor, do not use it. And I don't know if they did not put that in there. But these are just little things, you want to make sure that you are doing it the right way. There's a basic Dr. Morse has on his website, the kits. So you can always start with a kit and it has all the information there. If you want to go to any of Dr. Morse's websites, you go to Morse, Morse.health, and you get all the information that you need, all the websites. The only thing he's not selling there anymore is the glandulars. If you need glandulars, I have a bunch, so I sell them at cost. Yeah, it would be good to pin this video. Yes, you're right. And like I always said, I forgot to even even put it up last night. Oh, maybe I didn't say that. No, just told Sarah. I was looking in the group and I was like, oops, I didn't put it up. Okay, back to this. So now you have seen where the files are at and what is all out there. There is a lot of information, an acid and alkaline food chart. You want to stay away from the acid foods. What is coffee, tea, and cocoa doing to your body? This is a good one too. Deficiency is a misunderstanding of disease. So you need to do your research. I mean, you owe that to yourself. You are the only one who is responsible for your health. It's not your doctor. You cannot give your power away to a doctor and yeah, and not getting any better. I mean, we all know that. I mean, for a broken bone, it's the first thing I would go to. I had to do that when I broke a femur. And but other than that, I'm not going there anymore. And it even has a gradual transition. So there is a ton of information there. I put most of these in an ebook that is part of my services. So I get that to people when they sign up for consultations. Sherry, there is even about glandular therapy that has all the information. So as you can see, there is there's a lot of information here. And the self-assessment health questionnaire, it is here. And I have one that has my information on it. That's actually healthquestionnaire.online. And you can use that as even as a newbie, you know, just fill it out for yourself. You don't want to go the route to have a consultation. Fill it out for yourself and see where you are at. It will tell you the weaknesses in your body. Once you filled it out, you can actually see it. It's absolutely interesting. And maybe we should open one. And I open the one that I have, health questionnaire dot online, and we'll show you. This is important. This is one that you really need to use. If it decides to open up. Yes. That is how slow Xfinity is these days. Now, this is a form that you can fill out on a computer and then you save it and you can print it out. If you work with a counselor, then you can email it or even a messenger, you can send it, but you fill this out. Now, what I mentioned is what is important is to know your blood pressure. Top number is adrenals, bottom number is kidneys. We like it to have it 120 over 60. Preferably both sides, but of course that never happens. This is what Dr. Morse considers perfect. If it is, I talk to a lot of people who are under 100 and this is 70 or 80, so we know there is a problem. How many bowel movements do you have? If you have like one, then I would say you should have more. If you have two or three, perfect. If they're easy, perfect. If you have once every three days, you have a problem, and we need to work on that. Now, I always ask, and I ask that in the group too, what does your current daily diet consist of? Exactly. Don't put in, not even for yourself. It is like, oh, it's healthy. I have a healthy diet, or I eat a salad. Okay, but what is in that salad? Write the details down. Even if you do not share it with anyone, write the details down. Your health concerns, what do you want to gain from your change in diet and lifestyle? Even write down your genetics and family history. It will give you some answers. Write all these things down. But here is the beauty. Once you start filling out these things, like, yeah, I have this, I have this, I have this, but you for instance have a normal weight, then we wouldn't use the thyroid herbal formulas. Only when you have hypothyroid, not hyper. But it gives you an insight. Oh, this is easy irritable. That is related to my thyroid. And like, yeah, my fingernails are ridged and I have low calcium or whatever it is, scoliosis. I have scoliosis. It is related to the parathyroid. Easily bruising, slow digestion. A lot of people have that. A lot of people have acid reflux. I would always say, if some food is doing that to you, stop eating it. That's the first thing. Don't take anything, that suppresses it because it's not healing and the problem only gets bigger. But that shows you, if you undigested food in the stool, you have a weak, I don't want to say pancreas issue, you have a weaker pancreas. The same goes for the adrenals. I'm not going to buy everything, but it shows you what is going on and where are the weaknesses in your body. It shows the liver, gallbladder. Dr. Morse I didn't design this. Dr. Morse designed this. This is absolutely beautiful. And it has your skin issues. A lot of us have I have psoriasis, and people have rashes. The skin is the third kidney. Once we realize that and things are coming out through the skin, it means your kidneys are not filtering adequately. So you go through the thing, fill it out. Now you go on your journey, you start transitioning. You may not be on all fruit, but heck, you know, 3 months later, fill it out, save it somewhere or print it out, put it away, and 3 months later you do it again. And you fill it out again. And you see what the differences are. And I think that is an important thing to keep you on track, because I talk to clients after a year and it's like, no, nothing is working. I'm not healing. Nothing is getting better. And then I go through the old, because I print everything out. I have it in a file. We go through the old things one by one, and it's like, okay, do you still have hemorrhages? Oh no, that's gone for quite a while. Okay, one improvement. And you go to many of these things, and then the people didn't even realize how much they had healed already. That's why this form is so major important, even if you do not work with a counselor. Okay, any questions about this? No questions. Sara, do you have anything to add?
I mean, I think this is a fantastic place to start. And you don't even have to share it with anybody. You can keep it for your own records. I know Tony's talked about this before. You could fill out one as often as once a month, every quarter, or every 6 months, or even just once a year, and then come back and look to see your progress or if anything has changed. It's just a good overall journal entry of tracking for yourself as well too.
Yes, it absolutely is. And there is another one that, and I don't know if it's in here, that is a daily, writing down daily. And if it is not in here, I'm going to put it in here. But let's see if I can find it real quick. And I may not. Oh, this is interesting. I had the protocol video from Dr. Morse on my channel. It's been there for 3 years, and YouTube removed it because I think at 50 minutes in or so, 58 minutes, I'm not sure, Dr. Morse makes a brief comment about, what they inject in kids. And that was the reason it was deleted. So I am actually putting all these things on a what is it? On a my own channel. I have another it's not a website, it is video hosting. So I put all the videos that I downloaded from Dr. Morse, I put them there. And now I am looking for the ebook that I actually put together, and that should be something, this one. And of course, no. wants to restart my computer now. This is actually an ebook that I put together for my clients, but and I can show you the all the table of contents. So anything and everything that I could think of is in here. And I did not write it, I put it together. So I can never take credit for anything that is written in here. So the credit all goes to the persons who wrote it. I just, collected it. And it's about B12, about anything. I'm not selling it. It's part of the consultation. But I'm gonna go to the last page. The very last page is this one. A detox diary. And to hold yourself, well, I don't want to say accountable. I don't really like that term, but to help you get along is like, what did you eat today? After data, write down, and how does it make you feeling? What stress did you have? Did you experience any physical effects? Because it often happens. Often I get a message from somebody who is in excruciating pain and she doesn't know where it's coming from. And then when I ask what did you eat? It's like, oh. So sometimes your body rejects things. You may eat something that you've eaten all your life, but now you've been on all raw or even on high fruit, and you actually kind of forgot about it and you ate it, and now your body is like, nope. So it gives you, this is a pretty good one to use every day. Just do it every day. And in the morning, or yeah, what did you eat today? You would do that in the evening. Anyway, you fill out whatever you feel like filling out. If somebody wants this section, the detox diary, I will email that to you. I should have it in a separate file somewhere, but this is always a good one to use. So that was one. Let's go back to where we were with Dr. Morse, this one. So we've been going down. We're still a newbie. We come to this site and now we know that we need to go through the featured part. Okay, now what is important? You have a question that you want to ask. It is important to you. You want some help. Now, I don't answer every question in the group. We have, I think most of the, uh, what is it, counselors are actually in the group. But we're all busy and we give only this much of our free time, for free to answer the questions in the group. I know Ted is often in the group and sometimes he answers, but he has his own group that he is responsible for. So this is the group that where I do answer and set things straight if I feel it needs to be. But I don't answer everything because we have a lot of even non-counselors who know exactly how it all works, how Dr. Morse's protocol is. And when we think about protocol, we think about the herbs, but that's not only it. The protocol is everything. The protocol is the diet, the spirituality, the enjoyment of life, and the herbs. So it is everything. So now you have a question. So what you do is you can put your question in, like, I have this symptom. I have been on a standard diet for my whole life. I haven't started with anything yet, so that we know where you are at, because that will always be the first question. What exactly is your diet? Some people say, well, I've been a vegetarian or a vegan for 25 years. It doesn't tell me anything. It only tells me that you not eat any meat, but you still may eat the dairies or eggs or nuts or seeds or high fat or cooked food. So be as specific as you can be when you want to ask a question. And then you get the best results. Now, there is one thing that you should not ever forget, and that is this little icon here, the search option. So you do, well, here is one. You do you have nail fungus. Instead of putting in, I have nail fungus, what do I do? The people would start right away. Even if you put in, I have been eating fruit for 3 months and I have nail fungus, then we can go in, okay, why would you still have nail fungus? And maybe you need to do this, or maybe you need to do that. But we need that information. What do you eat and how long? If you have been on all fruit, how long? If you have been on high fruit and you add nuts and fats and plant proteins in. So it is, but going back to the search options. So you put this in and now you get all these answers. I'm not going to say is all the answers are the perfect answers, but we start about nail fungus. Then you have to read the comments, but some of the comments, they were absolutely great. So instead of asking the same question again, while it has already been answered, use the search function. That gives us more time to use to answer the questions that have not been answered yet. You know, I'm sure you understand that. So here you see a bunch of answers in, yeah, there are always people who come in with, what is it? What product did you use? And antifungal cell. Actually, Dr. Morse did have in the past one, but not anymore. And one says neem oil. When you use a product to treat it on the outside, it still means you're not treating it on the inside. So if you keep eating what you're eating, you're not on all fruit, so you're not on a protocol, you're not on a detox or healing diet, and you use, like, for instance, here, the neem oil, that's what you have to do for the rest of your life. Because as soon as you stop the neem oil, because you were only suppressing it, there it is again. So it's not healing. And that goes for all the treatments that you do. Here is actually, you know, someone post a Dr. Morse video. Now, a lot of these links may not be active again because Dr. Morse's whole channel was removed. That is where you can go on his website, and what I mentioned, drmorse.health shows all the website. drmorse.tv shows the videos, but they are newer videos, yet you can still do a search there, and you just watch that whole video. And that is the same for this one. So there are a lot of responses, and John Stearns was always very good in explaining things. He's no longer in the group. He went another route, and that was his choice. So this is just one example in how you can find help without having to wait for somebody answering it. Then when somebody answers, I have to see if it is the right answer or if it's pure nonsense and it is a treatment, and I would have to explain again why a treatment is never working while this already has been done. And I'm not saying that I don't want to take the time to do it, but it is unnecessary if all the information is there. Just think about it. This is 7, 8 years of information in this group. Isn't that totally amazing? And we're still growing. So it is, it works like a charm. It absolutely does. And it has, you know, you can put filters in. It's, so I think this is about the most important things that I can show for any new person who starts here in this group, and on what to do. The featured part is where you also find all Dr. Morse's information. My channel can easily be found on YouTube by just putting Toni Weel in. It has a playlist. It has all our videos. It has all Dr. Morse's videos that mirrored there and actually took apart by topic. In YouTube, it wasn't, I couldn't put all the topics in alphabetic order, so you just have to scroll through it. But there is a lot of information, and do your work. You owe that to yourself. In what we intent, or what we actually doing, is empowering you with the information so you can make the right choices. If you have a question to any of us, you can always use Messenger for a quick question that you don't want to put in the group. But please, respect my time and don't turn it into an hours long consultation, which often happens. But quick questions, yeah, they're fine. You also have the option to chat with me. I have a 15-minute free chat where you can learn more about me and how I work. If you decide to, sign up for an iridology analysis or a consultation, then please go to my website. Is actually toniweel.com. If that doesn't work, because it is a forward to a third-party system, if that doesn't work, just send me a message and I give you a different link. Although the link is easy. It is heal.me/ and then Toni Weel. And Toni is still and always will be with an I and not a Y. Okay, I think, please, Sara, add what you need to add yeah. Did I forget something? Is something important that I didn't mention?
We'll
Of course,
definitely pin
none
this
of
to the
them.
top. Definitely pin this to the top of the Facebook group. Even I learned some stuff on this today too. I am a moderator on there. I am not a detox specialist, nor am I an ND or even a practitioner at this point, but I do plan on being one in the future. So I will jump in and answer some questions here and there as well. And I mean, it's a phenomenal group. There's so much interaction there, and everybody there on some level wants to help. It just, a lot of people have different avenues that they only know about at this point. Like Toni said, a lot of people are referred to come here that don't even truly know Dr. Morse at this point. So if you do see something that you're feeling isn't following the frugivore path, because that's truly all we're following, you definitely don't want to follow something that's recommending proteins and any kind of dairies or anything like that. So those are always big red flags right away to go ahead and flag. But it's a wealth of knowledge, and please join and please help to contribute this and to bring this more mainstream for people. The more people are on it, the more people we can reach. And it's a wealth of information that's free. You can get on here, just ask questions, and there can be some of the moderators or practitioners or counselors from around the world that could reach out and contact you with their information. So it's a great resource, and very sad that Dr. Morse was taken down off of YouTube, especially when we all had raw figs. That was such a great website where we could just type anything in and it would take us right to the video. I really hope something like that is being built again for Dr. Morse TV. But it's a fantastic site, and all the videos for Dr. Morse, they need to be saved, recorded, and spread. And there's just so much information there. But thank you so much, Toni, for going through all this, and thank you for everything that you input into this website and all of your own websites and this podcast and everything you do for everybody every day.
Well, thank you. Because I'm still thinking, I missed something. There's more that I need to say.
We could definitely do a part two, especially if people get through this and then they have questions of their own. Then maybe we could go
Yeah.
through and do a part two later.
Yeah, there is really so much information on this site, and good information. And all the newbies, it's like, and even everyone else. I'm actually always surprised to see how, there's maybe 100 people who watch the videos. And
Hmm.
well, we just keep doing them anyways.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's reaching the people that it needs to reach, and at the same time, we're learning and growing. So it's helping those that it needs to, and it's helping me. And I'm learning and meeting new people and speaking with new people as well too. So I appreciate everything that's going on. Sherry has on here that for me, vegan means no animal products, so dairy should be omitted. But as we know, everyone has a different definition. They've also taken the word vegan and they've twisted it. It's like a bad word now. If you say I'm vegan, you're like part of a problem all of a sudden. And there was this thing on TikTok I saw where they were showing that they discovered a plant that has an eye, so they have like they can see now, which it turns out I think it was just AI generated in the first place. But the comments in there were like, oh, what are the vegans going to eat now? And so I put in there fruit. Like, we're not supposed to toil in the soil. We're not supposed to, stay here and just plant every single year. We're supposed to just reach up, grab our fruit because, mangoes where the mango is. And you reach, you grab it, you reach up towards God, and we have our beautiful fruit there. So vegan it's like a bad word in, the mainstream society now. So I never say I'm vegan. And plus, vegan can also be look at all the vegan frozen foods they have now or vegan alternative. That stuff is just
If
one, it
you
tastes
only,
nasty.
yeah, if you only knew the stuff that is
Oh
in
boy.
there, it is
Yes.
absolutely unbelievable. It's always fun for me to actually read the labels, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like somebody said if it had more than,
What is
yeah, if it,
that?
someone said if it had more than seven ingredients, it's not food. And I'm like, well, if you see what is in bread, originally bread had three ingredients, and that was that. I mean, I baked a lot of bread in my time, a
Mm-hmm.
long time
Yeah.
ago.
Oh
But
yeah.
if you see what is in there now, sometimes 30 ingredients. It's
Right.
yeah,
And bread
makes me
bread
sick.
is a hard one for a lot of people to get rid of. And I mean, I still will, like, if I see bread, I'm like, oh, I just want just a little, especially fresh warm bread. But I mean, there's such a big kick of sourdough bread going on now,
Yeah, yeah,
so that stuff grows all the time. Like, you leave it on your counter, it's going to grow. What do
yeah,
you think it's doing inside of you?
yeah,
Like, it's growing, yeasting somehow. Anyway, whole other topic. But yes, vegan is
yeah.
now a bad
Um,
word.
Sherry mentioned something. Dr. Morse has a search option, and TV has a search option, and Mark's in the videos where he addresses certain subjects.
he
I had not seen that. I was hoping they
he
would do it.
does now. I did see
Yeah,
it last week
great.
actually, but I didn't know if all videos were like that now.
Well,
So thank you,
absolutely
Dr.
great.
Morris's group, for working
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, they
Fantastic.
have been doing an excellent job, and we get what we needed. And I agree, Dr. Morse's stuff should be on his websites, because
Yeah.
raw figs was always an outside thing, going back to 8 years ago, even
Mm-hmm.
longer, because I just uploaded some videos that were from 11 years ago.
Oh
So,
wow.
Dr.
Yeah.
Morse has been putting 11, 12 years ago already his videos. So he has been doing this a long, long time
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
and putting it on YouTube. And for YouTube to completely delete it and not giving an option to
Oh
get it
boy.
back, because I know a lot of people, there were almost 1,000 videos on there.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I know of a lot of channel owners who actually did get their channel back. And I asked Michael, and he said, no, it's
Mm-hmm.
irreversible. So that is a kind of sad
Same.
thing. I know there are a lot of people who actually downloaded his videos. I did too, so I have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them.
Oh
And
yeah.
we share and do whatever we can do to get people going. 'Cause there was another thing that I wanted to say about, oh yeah, that was in what you said, the fruit. I always tell everybody that I only learned that fruit is really the food for us when I had my own fruit tree. And, of course, you have a new fruit tree. It's the first one. And this one was actually a fig. And it was, oh my God, it has these little bulbs on it and they were growing and they
Mhm.
were green. And then, oh, hey, now they were, still tight on the branch. And then I looked and I kind of touched it to see if it was soft and it fell in my hands. And that was,
Mhm.
then I realized it falls in your hand when it needs to be eaten right then and there.
It
Now,
does.
not everybody can have, a fig tree or a mango tree. I have the same experience now with a mango tree that I planted 2 years ago. And but that is where I learned actually the beauty of nature, that it really is, that is for us. If you don't eat it and you leave it on, it will fall off. Who gets it then? The other animals, then it's
Mhm.
food for them. But
Yeah.
just before that, it's food for us. Nothing gets wasted.
Nope.
So it is not. I had, I think I told you that. I had a neighbor who stole my mangoes
Yes.
last
Yes,
summer.
you did.
So for this summer, we are like, okay, and it's right at the street, so it's easy to get to.
Ah,
And I
geez.
was like, maybe I need to put a big net around it. But the reason
Mhm.
was, is like, oh yeah, but you never pick them anyway. You just leave them on the ground to rot. If I would leave one fruit on it, it could be deliberate or I didn't see it. But if the other fruit is on it and it falls to the ground, it is never wasted.
No. Mm-mm.
It is either for the animals, and believe me, the animals will eat it. Sometimes I
Yes, they
also
do.
had pineapple, ananas, pineapple, and I was too late. I had smelled it or smelled it. Is that a word in English?
Yeah, I say smelled. I smelled it. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's smelt.
Yeah,
No, I think that's
I don't
something else.
know. But anyway, I could I could smell it from quite a ways away. And it was like, oh my God, I need to get that pineapple. Well, I was
Mhm.
too late. The pineapple still looked beautiful, but it had a hole in it and it was completely emptied out.
Oh,
And I think that is beautiful.
yeah,
It's beautiful
absolutely.
too. It's not wasted. I didn't get it, but
Mm-mm.
something else did. And
Yep.
that is just nature. That is the beauty of nature.
Hmm.
And I think when we realize that and get away from that whole idea with how things are in a grocery store and it's all bad food anyway, we do the best we can. I cannot really plant anything in the soil here. I have to put it in pots because it's an
Hmm.
HOA regulated community. We own the land, but and if it is in pots, then they can't say anything.
Right.
I don't want to alert them too much.
Exactly.
Well, they see it
Oh,
anyway. But anyway,
oh
that
yeah,
is how beautiful nature is. And
it
and
is.
once we realize that, we look at everything completely different.
Yeah, we do. You have new eyes to see.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
enjoy it. And yeah, no ripe fruit, then okay, try frozen fruit. And don't get discouraged too much with what
Mm-mm.
you can get. I mean, I come from the Netherlands. I've only lived here for 20 years, but in the winter time, we had fruit. We had the berries. We had and oranges came from Florida. We had the bananas. We had apples. We had pears. So there is fruit. So it doesn't matter where you are. It may not be the fruit that you want. You may feel that you want to eat a pineapple, in the middle of the winter, but eat what is available. And if you
Hmm.
can get organic, go for it. I have the most delicious watermelons, and they are seedless watermelons, and they are so sweet. So I go with that. It's like this
Yeah,
is what I can get.
exactly.
Okay, so we are at what are we at? 1 hour and 20 minutes. I think that is enough for today.
I think they're probably done hearing us ramble.
Yeah, we can
I'll
go
say,
on.
yes,
We always find something to talk about. I hope it was
absolutely.
interesting for people. And if you have questions, In the description, there is actually for a link to this group, a link to other groups. I have another website. It's a website. It's also a Facebook group. It's also a website, and that is called gardenofeden.social. Now think
Mhm.
about this. If there would be no YouTube and there would be no Facebook, or Facebook just gets anything that is of any interest to us and it is all gone, then where do you get your information? This is where Garden of Eden comes in. This is
Mhm.
where we want to show you the options from how you can live, things that you can grow. There is a ton of information there.
Yep.
Now I put it in groups, but you can it is like a social media. You can actually connect with people there. You can find out if somebody is in your area, and if that person is interested in meeting you, you can do that. Now, there are not many people because it is fairly new, and I haven't advertised it well much, actually barely. It's gardenofeden.social. There is another group, and that is called hellohello.com, hellohelloworld.com. There are more people in that group, but it hasn't been active for a year, and while it was transitioning from another system or another name that was a freaksenseworld.com. It's called now hellohelloworld.com. So this is pretty much it. And I would say thank you so much, Sarah, and everyone being here. Thank you for all your questions and comments. It always makes us think, and I always learn something.
Mhm.
I
Me
learned
too.
today. I learned today about the videos on Dr. Morse TV. So,
See, look at that. See, that's why we're here.
oh my God,
Well,
this
well,
is
thank
always
you,
the
Tony, so
yeah.
much. Yeah.
This is always the highlight of the week, right?
Yes, it is. It
We have
is.
many, but we enjoy doing this, even though it's just
Absolutely.
a chat between us. There's always information. So thank you
100%.
everyone for being here. I enjoyed it, and till next week. I don't know what we're going to do then. We may have a guest on. We'll just see. If you have any idea about who we should get on, let me know, and we see where that can go. So thanks all for
Yes.
being here. Much love
Yep.
to you all, and till the next
Thank
time.
you. Bye bye.